It's interesting, Sir Edward, all these Labour MPs are complaining about X, but they're all on X every day making silly comments. You couldn't make it up. If they've got any sort of scruples or backbone, you'd all come off X, but I suspect not one of them will. They'll carry on. Let's not forget. Yeah.
In this video, we are watching what might be the most brutal 5 minutes of parliamentary debate this year. You're going to see him tear into their record on the rape gang cover-ups, the rats roaming the streets of Birmingham, and the bone-idle Shirkers living off your taxes. And wait until you see the moment a Labour MP tries to trap him with a question about Elon Musk. It backfires spectacularly. This is exactly why the establishment is terrified of reform. They speak human, not politician. If you want to see more videos exposing the elite like this, hit the like and subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Now, let's watch Lee Anderson destroy the narrative.
And let's be honest, if this petition was to likely to trigger a general election, I doubt very much whether some of my former colleagues would be in the room today, because many of them would actually lose their seats. And wherever I go in this country, and I travel a lot around this country every week, I get people saying to me that they're sorry for voting Labour for the last general election, and they will never a glimmer of hope, Sir Edward, at the next general election, because this lot over here, they'll all be looking for jobs. But of course, most of them, looking at them, are unemployable now. Absolutely unemployable, unless they fancy a job as a bailiff. Because let's face it, all they've done over the last few years, 18 months, is gone into people's houses and take stuff off them, usually money from people's pockets. Absolutely disgraceful. They can shake their heads and grin if they want. They will not be forgiven, mark my words. Just imagine their next job interview when they're down at the job centre in a couple of years' time. And the interviewer, the advisor, says, what have you been doing for the past couple of years? And sum up their achievements already. For the past few years, they worked for an awful dictator. And under his leadership, we have illegal migration totally out of control. Our streets are filling up with criminals. And if you live in Birmingham, it's filling up with rubbish as well. We've got rats the size of small dogs roaming around Birmingham, feasting on tons of rubbish. This government, Sir Edward, have stolen money off the workers by not increasing the income tax threshold, something they promised they would do. And they've given this money to the Shirkers. And by the Shirkers, I mean these are able-bodied people. They're bone idle, basically. They not go to work. They refuse to go to work. In fact, they stay at home all day and sponge off the state. And they're shaking their heads. In fact, the only work some of these Shirkers do is probably go out once every 5 years and deliver leaflets for this lot. It's great work if been attacked. Our pensioners have been robbed, and we've been locking people up for social media posts. And let's not forget puberty blockers. These are medical trials on children. And everyone over there who supports this should hang their heads in shame. They're ending the automatic right to trial by jury. Shameful. They allow Islamist thugs to dictate police policy on the streets of Birmingham. They've turned a blind eye to Islamists threatening to kill Jews on the streets of London. And they voted against having a national inquiry into the mass rape of young girls in Labour-controlled areas. Absolutely shameful. Each one of you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
If he's genuinely concerned about the rights of the children of this country, is he going to support cracking down hard on Elon Musk and X?
Gentleman for his intervention. Yeah. I thank the honourable gentleman for his intervention. I think X has got to clean its act up. It's as simple. I think we all agree with that. But it's interesting, Sir Edward, all these Labour MPs are complaining about X, but they're all on X every day making silly comments. You couldn't make it up. If they've got any sort of scruples or backbone, you'd all come off X, but I suspect not one of them will. They'll carry on. Let's not forget. Yeah.
How much money did you make from X last year?
I'm not quite sure. I make about 400 quid a month from being on X. Not exactly the gotcha sort of question or answer you expected from the from the honourable. Yeah, I make no bones about it. I make money from X, and also the money I make, I pay about 45% tax on it, so it goes to the Treasury. Let's not forget another flagship scheme of the party opposite, which is building brand new social housing for illegal migrants that come over the channel. Meanwhile, we've got 1 million Brits stuck on the council house waiting list. But anybody who calls this out, who disagrees with that lot over there, Sir Edward, they're labelled as far-right racists. Now, it would be fair to say that every family in this country has been affected by this Labour government, but not in a good way. And we've all had enough on it. We're fed up to the back teeth of them. Let's discuss the Cabinet. Start with the Prime Minister. His first instinct is to prioritise foreign judges over British people. We've got an Attorney General who agrees that with the ECHR when they block foreign rapists and murderers from being deported. We've got a Chancellor who doesn't understand the first thing about economic growth. We've got an Energy Secretary who's killing our manufacturing sector with his net zero madness. We've got an Education Secretary who says nothing about the radicalisation by left-wing teachers on our children. We've got a Justice Secretary who once said that Brexiteers were worse than Nazis. Mind you, that's not the daftest thing. He said, just go on YouTube and have a look at his contributions on Mastermind. Hilarious. We're the Foreign Secretary who's giving away British sovereign territory and making us pay billions of pounds for the privilege. And we've got a Health Secretary who is ploughing ahead with giving children life-destroying hormone blockers. But worst of all, as a result of this government, we have got radical Islamists, former Labour voters and some politicians waiting in the wings, ready to stand for Parliament at the next election in once safe Labour seats. And most of you in this room are going to go. You'll be on the...
There was zero holding back there. What I found most interesting was the silence from the Labour side when he brought up the mass rape of young girls in Labour-controlled areas. They had plenty to say about leaflets and Elon Musk, didn't they? But when he mentioned the actual safety of British children, or the two-tier policing allowing thugs to rule the streets, silence. And that line, most of them are unemployable unless they fancy a job as a bailiff, it's funny, but it's also serious. We are ruled by people who have never run a business, never done a manual day's work, and only know how to take money from your pocket to fund their failed projects. Lee Anderson paying 45% tax on his ex-earnings while they whine about the platform is the perfect summary of modern Britain. Makers versus takers. What was your favourite line? Was it the bailiff comment or the Birmingham rats? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you the truth. See you in the next one.